Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And I know I already did one, but you know what? That was kind of a niche topic, and I don't think it's of interest to my larger audience, even though I talked about it a long time because it was something I felt was important. But instead, I thought I would do a social commentary video today because this addresses multiple topics that people have asked me about. So let me go ahead and put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing. Work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. All right, you know, a bunch of bodybuilders have recently popped back up on YouTube, or when I say bodybuilders, I mean people who decided to do bodybuilding shows, because that is the definition of a bodybuilder. Now, a lot of people are going to say, Jason, that is not anyone who builds their body. No, guys, that's like saying everyone who plays with a football is a football player. That's not true. Bodybuilding is a competitive endeavor. I do not believe there is anything as such thing as a non-competitive bodybuilder, no matter how much Joe Weider tried to popularize the opposite so that he could push competitive bodybuilding more. But the reality is, a bunch of guys have jumped up and done bodybuilding shows who either took a long break from it, were power lifters for a while, and were bodybuilders before, jumped back to it, or power lifters are just guys who really like to work out who jumped over into bodybuilding. A bunch of people are doing it. Perfect example, Chris Jones. Now, I like Chris, but Chris always called himself a bodybuilder, and I said he's not a bodybuilder. Guy doesn't do bodybuilding shows, therefore he's not a bodybuilder. Now, that doesn't mean the dude's not in shape, doesn't mean the dude doesn't have fantastic body composition. It just means he's not a bodybuilder, never done a bodybuilding show, doesn't do bodybuilding. Does a lot of weightlifting, a lot of training, right? A lot of bulking, a lot of cutting. But he did a bodybuilding show, and the guy won. Apparently, he won. Okay. You got to credit where credit is due. Dude jumped up, said he was going to do something, did it, and won. All right, there's that. You can't take that away from him, I guess, even though I'm not a fan of bodybuilding. I don't promote it. I don't think it's a good idea. But you know what? Probably good for his outreach. He's probably going to make more money in outreach from doing it. So, you know, more power to him, right? But that's the thing. I would never tell anybody who's not going to make money off of it to go do a bodybuilding show. I mean, if it can advance your career, if it can advance your YouTube channel, advance your coaching services, okay, you're going to make money. But it's not a good idea. It's bad for you. I don't recommend anybody do it, at least not for recreation. You know, but to each their own. A lot of people do stuff that's harmful to themselves for recreation. Just try not to recommend it as a general rule. But yeah, he won. Who else jumped up and did one? Mark Bell, equipped powerlifter, very famous powerlifter, obviously, very famous. I mean, created the slingshot. Hell, was even in the documentary Bigger, Stronger, Faster, which I think his brother ran. He's got his super training channel. I mean, he's a well-known individual, right? Let's put it this way. Smelly is very well-known out there. One of the most well-known disciples of Westside Barbell. So he jumped up, did a bodybuilding show. People are like, what do you think about that? I didn't even see what he looked like when he did it. I haven't even seen it yet, but he jumped up and did it. Who else? Nick Wright's going back over to bodybuilding. Did powerlifting, did really well this last year, powerlifting meets. You know, I thought Nick did really, really well as a lifter. Again, give credit where credit is due. He placed well, totaled well, hit solid lifts. You know, his preps went pretty well. You know, he had a very successful year as a powerlifter. Decided, I guess, to jump back over and do bodybuilding. And, you know, it seems like this goes in cycles. You guys notice that in the whole YouTube fitness world, it seems like we go through phases where some of the various YouTubers go back and forth between these. They decide to compete in something, and some of them will do bodybuilding, and they'll jump over and do powerlifting, back and forth. And it goes in cycles, so to speak. And, well, there are probably a lot of cycles involved, but you guys know what I mean. I don't mean those sort of cycles, even though, yeah, that's clearly involved too. Why? What's going on? You know what, guys? I think it's just about trends. I think it's just about cashing in on the money, the popularity. Doing events of any type, competing in something, gives people a reason to chime in and watch these channels. They're doing something different. They're doing something interesting. And I mean, even then, it helps them pull in a larger fan base. I mean, someone might really, really love a fitness channel, but maybe it doesn't draw in a certain crowd. And if you go prep for a bodybuilding show, the people who kind of dig and worship the whole bodybuilding scene, I don't get it, but hey, to each their own, they're going to chime in. They might want to watch the prep They might want to watch your diet, you cutting down. You know, it draws in a new audience, right? Draws in a new audience. Even if you're not passionate about it, you can fake it. Same thing, the whole powerlifting thing, the strength thing. Draws in a new audience. And because you're prepping for an event, you can hype it up a little bit, right? What happens? Draws in audience. It's something new. It can change up the monotony of what people are doing. It's a marketing ploy. And it's actually, as far as that goes, I'm not going to knock it as a marketing ploy. Let's be realistic here. What are most of us doing on YouTube? If we're not trying to sell you products or sell you garbage, and I mean, I'll probably get into merchandising eventually, but I don't want to sell products with false advertising. That's my main thing. I'll tell you that my t-shirt might fit you if you pick the right size. That's the only performance claim I would make about it. You know, if you pick the right size, it will probably fit. There you go. But you know, I don't want to sell products that claim some benefit, like a bunch of supplements and stuff. It's just not what I'm interested in doing, because I know they don't really work for the most part, other than a handful. And to be quite frank with you, I don't think I have access to the economies of scale to sell you the ones that actually work and me to make anything off of it. So what's the point, right? You could just go buy them from someone else who's going to make a profit with their economies of scale, pay the same money. You know, I don't see that in the cards for me. So we're either doing that or we're marketing entertainment or information. You know, and channels that are out there trying to really boost their outreach are making good money. You know, they're always trying to look for something new to draw in an audience. You know, I mean, your audience, that's your bread and butter when you're a YouTuber. And most of these people are serious YouTubers. I mean, Chris Jones makes amazing money at YouTube. Like, I'm not hating, I'm not even being jealous. I'm just calling it like it is. I mean, he's been successful in his marketing. He has. I can't deny it. I'm not even hating. I'm not jealous. None of that. I see it and say, who's been successful? That is the only way I could describe it. Because I remember when Chris gave me my first shout out back, because I mentioned something positive about him. His channel was smaller than mine is right now. And you look at how far he's gone, making deep into six figures just off his commercials alone, let alone his other stuff. I mean, from a marketing perspective, that's success. I mean, when you're making over $500,000 a year as a YouTuber, which is, let's be realistic, that's where he is. You clearly have done something right. I mean, from a business and career perspective, you clearly have done something right. Most likely, you've done a few things right, not just one. So, I mean, you can't knock it. You can't knock his hustle, right? We could knock some of his training methods. He is passionate about training. And I think that part is genuine. You know, whatever else you want to say, the guy's passionate about training. I don't think he's passionate about the whole bodybuilding thing. I don't think that's his gig, because he didn't do it. He talked about it, never did it for years and years. But he jumped up and did it. He knows he's going to make money off of it. It's going to boost his outreach, and he won. So, you know, what more can you say? He went and did it. He was successful. He won, and he's going to make more money off of it. It's just going to boost his outreach. So from that perspective, I can't knock that part. I may not like all the supplements and other stuff he sells, but, you know, as far as him doing something like this for publicity and outreach, yeah, he's going to make money off of it. A guy makes money with everything he's touching. So, again, you got to respect the hustle there. Other people kind of doing the same thing, and I think that's a lot of it. You know, I wonder if a lot of them are doing it again. It's just marketing. You know, I promise you, Mark Bell doesn't care about bodybuilding. He doesn't care about any of that. But it's going to boost his outreach. It's going to boost his sales of his products. It's going to do a lot for him. So, you know, at the end of the day, why do I think people do these things, and why does it go in these cycles? It's just marketing, guys. That's all it is. It's different ways to market to different people within the fitness world for people to grow their audience. They're going to make their money, because people need to remember that at the end of the day. Yes, a lot of us care about our viewers. Yes, a lot of us care about different things and what we're doing. But let's be honest here. YouTube is big money. It is big money. And anyone who's telling you that there's not real money in YouTube, that's not true. There is. There is. And people who are smart like that and business savvy, they learn to capitalize on it. But in the case of doing something like competing in different endeavors, that's an honest way to do it. because you're drawing in legitimate entertainment. You're actually doing it legitimately at that point. If you're not selling a worthless product, competing in different stuff just to draw in a larger and larger audience or to give people something new to watch, from a business perspective, it makes sense, and that's why they're doing it. It's all business, guys. But it's still entertaining for a lot of people. So it's not like people who are watching aren't getting what they want. They're getting something of value to them. They're getting that entertainment, and maybe even they learn something from it. So again, it's not a dishonest way for people to make a living to do stuff like that. I don't think it's dishonest by any means. It's just drawing in a larger audience when you are a professional entertainer. That's my opinion on it. Everyone wants to know what I think about them doing that. There you go. That's what I think about it. That's my opinion. It's just good marketing. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.